Hey, how y'all doing out there? And welcome into the Friday brunch. You're in Uncle Steve's lounge. Thank you for joining us. The aftermath. One day after the first round of the NFL draft, the Atlanta Falcons management kind of surprised us a little bit. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Or are we just wrong? Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, how you doing out there today? It is Friday. We are in the Friday brunch here in Uncle Steve's lounge. I appreciate you joining us today. Thank you. Thank you so much for the support last night. We had a very good show last night. Appreciate the panel coming in. My brother Tidy Jones from Atlanta Bird Gang, Dre from Coach's Corner coming in, Armani coming in there, helping us a little bit, and definitely Stephen J from the check down. We appreciate all of you guys and the guests we had pop in on the show. Thank you so much. Very good show. Probably talked about a lot of stuff we weren't expecting to, as far as the draft is concerned, because the Falcons kind of did a little ta-da on us and ended up getting the quarterback, of course, from the University of Washington. Micheal Penix Jr. is now an Atlanta Falcon, and it sounds like he is going to be here to stay. There was a thought in my mind briefly before the draft when they uh, got him that I was saying to myself, and I said, would it be like the Falcons to draft him and then go trade him out to another team, thinking maybe that was the way to go? But no, it sounds like Micheal Penix is sketched in to be a part of this team, and I'm here for it. As I said yesterday, a little bit shocking, but I'm here for it, and I get it. The Falcons explained it. I and I think I alluded to it before I even saw the press conference that Terry Fontenot and Raheem Morris had yesterday to say you went from a quarterback room that couldn't get a lot done last year, and now you go to a quarterback room where you got a few options and you have some potential. So Uh, I'm not one of those that's just going weird and crazy. I tell you what, boy, I woke up this morning, and whether you were watching ESPN, NFL Network, some of our fellow content creators, and thing, you would have thought the apocalypse was here. You would have thought the Atlanta Falcons have never made a bad draft pick ever. You would have thought that the sky was actually falling. Folks, that's the draft. And so that was one of the things that I put on this post when I was talking about it, is to say, obviously Raheem and Terry had a plan. They executed what they think is right for the team, the folks who are going to be there, the folks who are making decisions, the folks who are pushing the checks up to author to sign. They made those decisions, and whether we like them or not, that's what we're going to roll with. And that's when you have to start asking yourself, are the fans Are all the prognosticators, are all the ESPN-ish guys, and even as local as content creators. Are we upset with the pick because Michael Penix really wouldn't be an asset in the future? Or are we upset because we're wrong? I listened to personalities today on both radio stations, quite honestly, both local sports radio stations here in the Atlanta area. And I just heard how, oh, this is dumb. I mean, you got former football players, you have um, radio personalities who've overstayed their stay in Atlanta. You got goofball type personalities on there that were, pretty much like kind of almost alluding to whether Raheem and Terry know what they're doing. And I just say to myself, whether you're a former football player from 20 plus years ago, whether you're a radio personality who thinks you know the ins and outs of everything in Atlanta, whether you're a newbie radio or TV personality and it didn't go to your mock, it didn't match your mock, whether you're a little bitty old, which is what we are, little bitty old content creator who are in your feelings because it didn't come out like you wanted it to. Man, get over yourself. I was wrong. Thought for sure they get Dallas Turner. But as far as when you start looking at the way the trending was going, defensive player didn't even get picked to number, what, 15? So it wasn't just the Falcons. It was everybody. So I'm here really to ask that question. Are we really upset about the pick because it was a wrong pick? I see the pros in the pick. I actually see the cons too. I'm not trying to sit here and say it was a slam dunk. It does make the Kirk Cousins signing scratch your head if you had planned on doing that. But I had no problem with picking up Michael Penix. Matter of fact, prior to the Kirk Cousins signing, that was what I was on board for. Now, once you sign Kirk Cousins, obviously that's going to change some things up. But I'm just hearing all this anger and all this bleep, bleep, bleep. It's the most bleaking decision of all time because they didn't say what I say. My mock draft said this. Folks, we all guessing. We're all guessing and we all going to be wrong at times. But if you're a Falcon fan, this is the time where it tests you. Oh, the Facebook post. Oh, the Twitter post. I'm through with the Atlanta Falcons. They're the dumbest team in the world. They don't know what they're doing. They don't whatever. As we sit home behind our screen, literally me in my basement, not my mom's basement, but my basement. And we're throwing stuff up against the wall. So I really want to ask that question. And of course I want to get opinions on what happened. But are the fans, are all the insiders, prognosticators, the Mel Kipers, the um, folks like that, the Field Yates, the Jeremiah, the Bucky Brooks, are all those folks a little bent because it didn't match your mock? I don't know. And it's too easy to go to other situations. I keep hearing, yeah, see what Kansas City did, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, they did kind of the same thing, but this is a different situation. Alex Smith wasn't bagging, taking the bag like that. They had just paid Alex Smith. Alex Smith was already there, and they made that call. But I just want to know what your feeling is. And I'm gonna get into the chat and read the chat. I know yesterday, folks, I know, forgive me, most of the time here on Uncle Steve's Lounge, we read every single comment. I'm gonna get to that today. I know yesterday when you have guests and you have things like you have going on yesterday, and we had a very full chat and a very full thing. So I know a lot of people uh wanted to get their opinions out. So I do appreciate that and thank you so much. But we're gonna get right to the chat and we're gonna start off with the two super chats in here. I got one in here from my brother Greg in the house. What's going on, Greg? Appreciate you watching and we love your super chat. Super chat. Super chat. My brother Greg from Greg Custom Kicks. Y'all saw the shoes yesterday. My brother Tidy showed you what they look like. Chat, and he has our back here. I appreciate you, brother. He says, I love the pick. Although Cousins is a 2 to 3 year bandage, bare minimum. We would be in the quarterback search regardless. Now, or 2 or 3 years down the road. And that's kind of what they were explaining yesterday. So I do understand where that's coming from. That makes a lot of sense. Where they was coming from with that. And my buddy Rusty in the house. Why? Thank you so much, Rusty. Uncle Steve will read your comment. Why? Because I like it that way. My brother Rusty, thank you so much for the support as always. He says, my issue isn't with Penix. I like him. I just questioned the Kirk signing if Micheal Penix was their guy. Could have spent $100 million on DN wide receiver and just drafted Penix. Rusty, that's pretty much where my thought is. My thought is if this was the plan, maybe you could think about Russell Wilson. Maybe you can think about, I don't know. I don't want to say Jacoby Brissett because that's actually not a viable option if you want to win. But if you listen to the explanation that they gave us, Rusty, and I, like I said, that your train of thought is where I was. They said they are trying to do two different things at the same time. I get it. They want to win now, hence getting Kirk Cousins, but they also want to set up the future, hence drafting Micheal Penix. When they thought maybe the defensive talent could be had in the second, third, fourth, etc. rounds. I get that too. I'm not here to say if this is the right decision. That'll only be told in the future. Tell you what, if we go 6-11 this year, everybody's up for grabs. But I understand where you're coming from. Let's see what everybody's saying on here. That's my buddy, Coach's Corner, Dre in the house. Thank you so much again last night, brother. He said, good afternoon, Unc. I don't know about anyone else, but for me, it was because it was Penix. But almost 24 hours later, I'm sort of warming up to the idea instead of it. 40,000 degrees, I'm at 30,000 degrees. That's fair, my friend. That's fair. What's up, James? How you doing, cousin? Good to see you in the house. Thank you for joining us on Uncle Steve's Lounge. Y'all come in, make sure y'all hit the like button for me. Appreciate y'all coming in on this Friday brunch. Dexter Flash in the house. What's up, man? Hopefully you're doing well on this Friday afternoon. I am, my brother. I am. Kelvin is here. What's going on, Kelvin? Good to see you. My brother Dexter, who's been talking to me offline about this stuff, and said, I understand. He said, sorry about texting this morning. No, man, please. He's apologizing. Look, I answered, so it's all good. He said, I see you was online and I wanted to talk. I apologize, but good pick. Kurt is still hurt, right? So why is he mad? He say he deals in realistic. Listen, let me tell you something. Kirk Cousins, in my personal opinion, I think that was a horrible move by the agent. I know people are going to call, and I know he might even be hurt. He might. But dude, you just got a bag. This is the NFL. There is nothing promised. Matter of fact, maybe the only safe job right now in the NFL might be Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen is going to get questioned. Jalen Hurts got questioned last year. Dak Prescott is getting questioned this year. Folks, the quarterback position is not at its peak right now. Are there a lot of future guys that I think are going to be good as time goes on? Absolutely. But you know, for for, for if it's true and Kirk Cousins is feeling a certain way, I say, you know what, you might need to sleep on it 24 hours and realize there is not a single soul aside of people in the Kirk Cousins family that's gonna feel sorry for you. You just got paid. If your hurt feelings are that hurt, and we got the wrong guy. I need somebody that's gonna embrace the fact that competition comes in. I want to embrace the fact that they're saying, okay, Kirk, as good as you are, I still need somebody that's gonna come up behind you. We ran into that last year, Kirk. We had a quarterback room and had no confidence in either of them, at least to start. So if Kirk Cousins is in his feelings, I don't know what to tell you. Man up, I guess. I'm sorry. No regular fan, regular person who's probably not playing football, maybe those who played before, but I just can't see anybody feeling quote unquote sorry for him. So if he's mad, Dexter, he's just gonna be mad. I hope this I'm pronouncing this right. Devarius, what's going on? What's up, Unc? I'm not disappointed about the pick. Well, I was last night, but I'm really interested on the day two picks for defense. Yeah, day two should be interesting. Maybe that will definitely bring things down a little bit. Big John is in the house. What's going on, man? Say, well, we better go defense with these next three picks. Fix this defense, please. Uh, Dexter says, this calls for, I love Michael. I think I'm going to go, I love Penix on that. So y'all might be hearing the I love, but I love Michael could be good. Let's see. I love Penix. That might be, we'll see. I'm going to put that on there. Kelvin says, finally, the Falcons got it right. Everyone talking about him sitting for 2 years. Is there any guarantee that Kirk will be healthy the whole season? And that's where you have the unknown. And that's where, if you're the Falcons, you're not going to get caught in that situation again, where you have to guess how your room is going to look a year from now, 2 years from now. To Kelvin's point, you don't know. We don't know. We can all prognosticate till our uh, faces turn blue. We can mock as good as we want, but no one knows. But at least they have a plan. They have a plan for the most important position on the field, folks. They do. I still question whether not. I don't even question it. The pick itself, I don't mind at all. The pick makes me question why you invested so much in Kirk, but the explanation being we think he can get us to win now. So I get it. Justin, what's going on, man? Say, what's up, Unc? Did Robert Kraft tell Plank to take it? While he was giving out all that advice, did he do that as well? Oh man, Dexter said that was a great pick. He said he win this year. We pick in the late 20s and possibly next year too. He openly snitched on us tampering, so he cost us pitch, which we don't get a say. So we got our guy. You know, Dexter. Now the snitching thing, that might be where the Falcons say, "Yeah, dude, you just cost us next year's pick. Be quiet, sit in the corner for a second, count your money, and just relax. You got the job." They basically said, "Yes, sir, you got a job. Stop looking behind your back." I would embrace it. Embrace the challenge. Somebody coming after you, embrace the challenge. Francis, how you doing? Say, hey, Uncle Steve, I did think we were going to go defense, but I also know we need a good quarterback for the future too. So I'm fine with it. I hear you loud and clear. False start in the house. What's up, man? Said people mad. The organization passed on the quarterback that was in a reach in 2021. They weren't going to pass on one again. I said this yesterday. Was this a subliminal shot at Coach Arthur Smith to say, this is what we should have done 3 years ago? So I'm on your same wavelength as far as that's concerned. And folks, number 8 is not a reach. For if that's your talent that you want, grab your talent. And quarterback is probably the only position where, remember, this was the criticism from a few years ago. The same criticism. Well, if we get Justin Fields, he's going to sit behind Matt for 2 years. And what, 2 years later, now we're like, oh, wait a minute. We don't have anybody to throw to the generational tight end. Make up your mind. Which one is it going to be? You can't have it both ways. Not at all. Got another super chat in the house. That's our brother Big Low Country Sports. We're all right. We're all right. The birds are all right with me. Yeah. Hey, 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 hey. That's, y'all don't get that. This is Super Chat with Super Chat. Can't get none of that with Big Low Country Sports. You might get a couple of broken high notes. That's all you're going to get. But Big Low's in the house. Big Low says, oh, we got to talk whenever you get a chance. You know I will, brother. I'll reach out to you, my friend. Y'all make sure y'all check out Big Low. He did an emergency. He did an emergency coach's call yesterday. Emergency. I don't think Big Low like that big, but I'll find out later on. Demetrius is in the house. Say, what's going on, Uncle Steve? What's up, brother? Dexter says we haven't restructured nobody's contract because some people are going to get cut or traded after the draft because team have their guy. I don't think no pass rusher was worthy of a top 10 pick. Dexter, either did the first half of the draft. That's why I say for all the Falcon fans that are criticizing, we didn't get defense. We didn't get defense. No defensive player. Nobody in the NFL picked a defensive player in the top 10 nor top 14. Angel Crosswalker, what's going on? How you doing? Thank you for joining us in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Appreciate it. My brother Wallace is here. Say, what's good with you, Uncle Steve? And knew that they were going to draft Penix after all of them went out to Washington to work out with him. It did make you say, when they all did that, loaded up on the plane and went out there to see him. But hey, it is what it is. Greg is in the house. What's up, sir? Hope you are well. I am. It was a smart pick. To see and hear so much vitriol about it was ridiculous. I think a lot of it is because a lot of these guys got it wrong. Greg, that was the title of my stream today. The title of my stream are fans, insiders, and content creators mad because it was Penix, or they mad because it was wrong? Everybody was on the thing, and folks were ready to like, I told y'all I know football. I told y'all I played safety in semi-pro ball. I told y'all I used to get water on the sidelines for my high school cheerleading team, and I know more than you do. I told you. Not Michael Turner. Dallas Turner, I told you. Latu, I told you. Been around here long enough to know, don't hang on, I told you. It's nice when you're right about things. But man, that's you just throwing that up against the wall like I am, quite honestly. But a lot of people are in there feeling, boy, oh boy. Y'all know I watch you all. Crying. Excuse making. Because prior to the draft, I know all. Come here and watch me because I know all. I know everything about football. I talk to players. I have friends. I've been doing this for years, so I know. No. You're as useless. Your useless babble is as useless as my battle. Your acumen is as genuine as my acumen. You're wrong. Say it, look in the mirror, and realize that you're wrong. I do it every day. I mess up quite often. And I live to the next day and I'm fine. But some of y'all acting like y'all gonna sell your season tickets. Y'all gonna stop watching Falcon football. Y'all are done. Ho hum, ho hum. We heard it. We hear it again. Same people I saw at the last draft. Same people on ESPN I saw it last year saying that we were done. Same content creators. I'm done with them. I don't like this. Get a life. If you're a fan, you're a fan. I'm a fan. Sometimes we do things that make me scratch my head, but I'm down with the logo. I'm with the brand. In this particular case, I'm not even as mad. I just hate the fake mad. I don't give a F about this. That thing. I sound like little kids on the playground. Demetrius says, I think a lot of people were upset because they feel like we should have gotten him later or in another round, but it was not a guarantee he would have been still on the board later. But did you see the other two guys go quickly after him, Demetrius? He wasn't gonna last. Dare I say he might have been a Minnesota Viking if we wouldn't have jumped up there. There's no guarantee that JJ McCarthy was number one on their board. Of course, they're gonna tell you that after the fact. You telling me Denver, Bo Nix was their top choice? Man, if Micheal Penix would have dropped to number 12, Denver would have jumped him in a heartbeat. Or maybe they wouldn't have because somebody like the Raiders probably would have jumped over them. Atlanta Dog, what's going on, man? He said, Falcons got the best quarterback in the draft. We should be happy. I'm happy. And I think once the dust settles and once this draft is over with, maybe we make some key picks in the second round, third round, fourth round, fifth round. I don't think we have in the sixth round. I mean, seventh round. I know we got six. But once we make some picks, I think it'll be fine. Dexter says Turner went like pick 17 or so 16 teams felt the same way we did. He is not a game changer. We just went through this with Matt and had to make it work. Now we got somebody waiting. And listen, at the same time, and I know he was upset. I saw him. You could tell, man, Dallas Turner was not happy. I wish nothing but the best for him. I hope he does turn out to be something. But at the time, GMs, professional teams, half the NFL did not think he would be that. Same way about TJ Watt a couple of years ago. Same thing. And maybe he makes that motivation for him. I hope he does. It's not hate for him and his situation, but for us, we got bigger fish to fry. And maybe this coaching staff said, you know what? We can work with some of these second and third round picks and we'll turn them into GMs. Let's see. RJC says, let's stop making it personal. The pick for a quarterback is not what the Falcons needed. This organization is not moving in the right direction. RJ, it's not personal. Why is it personal? What do you mean personal? Personal for who? I mean, there is no personal agenda for anybody. Look, if they would have picked Dallas Turner, one way or the other, we would have been validating that because there were a lot of people that think Dallas Turner wasn't the guy. Oh, I don't know if he's really that good. Latu. A lot of people were, Latu is going to be it. Then there were a lot of people saying Latu wasn't good. No matter who the draft pick was yesterday, we were going to be having this conversation. The mere fact that it's the most important position on the field, that ratchets it up a notch. It's not personal. What's the personal part about it? There's nobody. I mean, who's making it personal? That's an interesting take. Demetrius says, I was one of the people that was originally looking at that pick as a head scratcher last night, but we got our quarterback for the future, and we need to see who else we're going to get. I hear you. Dexter says, Packers gave Rodgers a $159 million guaranteed the year before trading him with Love on the bench. Even if we would have traded for Fields and he didn't pan out, we would be looking again next year. That's the part. That's the part right there. RJC said, yes, it's the wrong pick. And listen, 2 years from now, we'll find out, RJ. We will. And the defense is not whether it's be the wrong pick. There was not a person in 2021 that thought Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, and Matt Jones were in bad positions. There were a lot of people that thought Justin Fields deserved to get picked where he was. There were some people that thought Zach Wilson was going to be the next Drew Brees. Same thing for Trey Lance. Oh, the athleticism, blah, blah, blah. We don't know. But I don't think it's personal. I think, if anything, the organization is saying, this is who we thought. Fans, it's not like we don't care about you, but we do care that if this thing with Kurt goes sideways, if this Achilles somehow takes a step back, that at least we have a contingency plan. We didn't have a contingency plan last year. It was Ritter or bust. And I don't need to remind y'all how that went. Greg says Colin Cowherd on his show stated that 3 other teams were trying to move up to get Penix before McCarthy and Knicks. So it wasn't just the Falcons that wanted him. I believe that. There were a lot of people saying that Micheal Penix was the most talented guy at the quarterback position as far as his skill set. The most you hear about Micheal Penix was it past injury. And I get that. No problem with that. That's the most you heard from folks. Atlanta Dog says, we have a whole draft left. Everyone acting like the draft is up. And see, that's the crazy thing, right? I was listening to people acting like we had 7 first-round picks yesterday. This one pick is going to set us back 20 years. There are 31 other situations that fans today are saying the same thing. I did not hear, aside of maybe Chicago, I did not hear one team say, that's the 100% perfect pick. Not one. So, yeah, I agree with you on that one. Dexter says, hate to be this guy, but they, Chiefs fans, said the same about Mahomes. Again, Dexter, I tell everybody who wants to listen, folks, y'all think this is just subjected to this fan base. It's not. It happens in every fan base, even when you win the Super Bowl. There are folks right now that did not want Worthy to be picked in Kansas City. There are folks that want to replace my man back there in the secondary for Kansas City, the one they got rid of. No one is going to be 100% happy. There were folks when Mahomes was picked, when Alex Smith was there, that were like, oh my God, what are you doing? Alex Smith just took us to the divisional playoff game. Why are you doing this? Why are you causing confusion? 6 years and 3 Super Bowls later, Alex Smith, who? Devontae, what's going on, my brother? He said, I think Michael Irvin said it best. This is a now and later pick. I agree. Rise up, baby. That's all, dude. I should pin this comment at the end of the day. Rise up. Norman, what's going on, sir? Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you. Appreciate y'all in the comments, too. Wallace says, and people have to realize they're drafting the players they want, not the players the fans want. Bingo. That's why I say, when you talk about the NFL prognosticators, some fans and a lot of people that do the same thing that I do, it didn't match. None of our drafts. I'm not sitting here trying to pretend like I thought Micheal Penix would be the first, second, third, or fourth choice with the Atlanta Falcons. But I get it. I got it the moment they picked him. It made sense. It didn't make sense that we invested in Kirk if you were going to do this, but I get that too. They want to win now and have room to say, okay, but he's coming. Official big gangster in the house. He said, I'm always watching. I love the show. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Uh, and really, I appreciate that. Get the word out, man. I appreciate you, big gangster. Travis says, I wonder why the ESPN and like are so invested in the Falcons. It seems like they want to control whose teams draft or sign to play for them. Travis, they want to be right. They want to be right. Just like there is a listen, we all, even when you do this, we all have a slight ego. All of us do. You would be lying if you say you did. When you do something in front and you put your views out there and you put your opinions out there, there is a part of you that wants to be right, me included. But you have to open up the humility box just enough to realize, one, I'm not a GM. Two, I'm not a head coach. Three, I'm not a player, former player, or a wannabe player like a lot of folks claim to be. And I have to open up my humility box to say, you know what? I got to rock with the people who making the decisions because they wouldn't be getting paid the millions if they didn't know. Even on the worst team in the NFL sometimes, I have to bow to their expertise and their acumen because they're doing it daily. I'm just sitting here talking about it. So again, that's why I go back to are the fans, insider, content creators, wannabes, or whatever, are we mad because it's Penix? Or are we mad because we were wrong? The wrong thing left me maybe 45 seconds after the pick. Because I started looking big picture. Just like when Kirk Cousins was signed 2 or 3 weeks ago. When Kirk Cousins was signed, oh, the worst pick in what are y'all doing? Y'all paying him all this money and blah, blah, blah. And then I thought about it. Okay, they trying to win. I get it. I'm down. Maybe not the choice I made. Everybody wants to be right. It's natural. I get it. Lab S says, I like the pick. Charles, what's going on, man? Charles says the owner wants Cousins GM, wants Penix, can't fire the owner. You know what, Charles? Now I know a lot of people were making a lot about the little video between Blank and Fontenot, and it'll be interesting if one of the reporters have the guts to bring that up. I heard that too. It could be. It could be, Charles, but until somebody absolutely, says that's true, it's hearsay to me. Retro G in the house. What's up, man? Said plenty of edge and D tackle talent on day 2. We rise all day. Kelvin says, although Kurt was stunned, he remained a class act. One reporter said he called Penix to welcome and congratulate him. And that's probably more of the truth, Kelvin. I don't think Kirk Cousins, you would be less than human if you saw them pick Micheal Penix and said, congratulations. No. No. Because at that point that they made that pick, Kirk Cousins realized he's 35 and also realized that nothing in life except those 2 years guaranteed is guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed. So good for him that he would do that. Good for him. And what else he gonna do? Quit? Dexter said that we would not have traded if we would have traded for Fields and he doesn't pan out, which would we have to have give up a second, a third early in off season and had to pick up his 5th year and been on the books for 25 and still searching. That's true. That's true. Atlanta Dog says Kurt knew we were going to draft a quarterback. Why would he be mad at us for getting the best one we could because he didn't expect it to be somebody of that talent. That's where the ego comes in. The ego I was speaking about a second ago. He knew that. Of course, he knew they were getting the quarterback, but he was like Spencer Rattler, like baby, put in that 3-year lease over there. Micheal Penix, like hold on, let's go year to year because he knew the talent they would get. It wasn't because it's a quarterback. It's because who the quarterback was. Carlo, what's up, man? Pretty optimistic in the direction we are going. Chess moves for now. In future, we looking better than we have in yesteryears. Carlo, you said it perfectly. Chess moves. Moves that none of us are thinking about in the now. We wanted the first thing I keep everybody keeps saying, well, we needed that player that we can get in there now. Well, folks, during the Super Bowl year, I'm just pointing that out. Every starter wasn't in the first round that year that we got in the draft. We only got one first rounder. That was Neil, but we ended up starting Devondre Campbell. We ended up starting Brian Poole. We ended up starting losing my mind at the moment. Deion Jones. It got a little big picture. Antonio Gales, what's going on? Said this was a great pick. Atlanta Dog says having competition behind Kurt should only make him better. I think the same. False Star said Kurt got $100 million from us and they played it down. Also, his big mouth volunteering information got us in trouble. False Star, that's one of the things that I was saying about be careful how mad you are. Because I'm pretty sure the Falcons are bad that maybe next year they might not have a first, second, or third round pick. We don't know. We don't know. Tyler said, "What are we doing? What are we doing tonight, man? Listen, normally I would do a second day and a third day for the picks, but I have the pleasure. My wife and I are gonna we're going on a marriage retreat tonight. Got some fun things happening to rekindle the fire. Hey, rekindle the fire, keep the fire burning. Uh, after you know, 23 years. You want to keep rolling in that direction. So we enriching ourselves this weekend. I can't wait to spend time with her. So I will be out of pocket as far as online today and tomorrow, but I will be back for our normal Sunday chill that we do on Sunday evening. So look for that. I'm gonna say right now 6 o'clock, but I'll be posted it so you guys can get notifications on it. Antonio James says Aaron Rodgers used the Jordan Love pick to motivate him back to MVP status. Yes. Oh, what do you so what you got, Kurt? Absolutely. I hear you. Jerry boy, what's going on, man? Say edge, wide receiver, cornerback. Let me tell you something. Don't be shocked. Don't be shocked if they go wide receiver second round. Don't be shocked. I know a lot of people, if we get an offensive player in the second round, it's gonna be more people jumping off the Titanic. But why not? But again, edge is probably something that you're gonna be looking at as well too. 330 in the house. He said, "Oh, talk him off the ledge." I can't talk all of them off dirty. I'm trying. I'm trying, brother. I'm trying. I'll start saying, "Uncle, went in on the Rick James." I was feeling good, man. And you know what? My wife was sitting next to me when I made that, and she gave me that look of embarrassment, which let me know that it was really good. Oh, oh man, the MD20. What's going on? Say, I'm seeing a lot of Falcon content creators being assigned to the damage control department today. Nonetheless, peace. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. When you went to the almost, I guarantee a lot of them went there. I didn't. Dwayne, what's going on, man? How you doing? Everything going well? I hope it is for you. T Walker, what's up? Say, I love the pick. If it works out, we are good at quarterback for a very long time. Yep, I hope so. Y'all laughing. Y'all must be laughing at my. Hey, man, I got plenty where that came from. Greg said, Unc, you got me rolling up. That's the thing, brother. Entertainment, keep y'all smiling, keep y'all laughing. At the end of the day, hey, look, this Falcon stuff is beautiful. We don't need to take it serious. We gotta laugh at ourselves. I laugh at myself every day. That's what keeps me sane. So it's all good. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. As long as it's entertaining and fun, I hope y'all appreciate it. C Double says, "What's up, C?" Say it is not fair for us to look at this and go, "How do you fix a defense that's already lost two of your top 10 pass rushers as well as other players?" Well, first of all, I don't think they're done in free agency. I think you're going to see some restructuring. You might even see a surprise cut or two. I don't think the Falcons are done with that. You know there's going to be a restructuring going on because now that you have Micheal Penix in the top 10, that top 10 quarterback rookie scale is not going to be cheap. So look for them to start making some moves here sooner or later. I do feel like they'll probably re-sign AJ. I know I've heard a lot of people say they think AJ is gone. I think they're going to sign AJ, restructure that to make it very comfortable for us the first couple of years of that particular contract. So uh, we're not done getting defense, whether it be the draft or free agency, folks. Atlanta Dog says Falcon Brass said that it was their trip out west to see him work out, and and it was cold and windy, and Penix was throwing laser beams like he was indoors, and that's when he looked like Matt Stafford. You know what? And they probably looked at the same picture or somebody else playing in the cold and weather last year. I love Desmond against Carolina, and probably said that's kind of the guy we need. You know, up there at UW, the weather is something else. I spent a lot of time up there on the Pacific Northwest, and it can get cold and nasty. So if he can throw in that, you know he can throw indoors. So C Double said, I think we should have grabbed the pass rusher or trade down. I mean, again, I hear you. It didn't happen, but I hear you. Dom, what's going on, man? How you doing? Happy Friday to you. AOK Kilo in the house. What's going on? He said all the good teams went and got defensive players, though. Well, the good teams picked near the bottom. There's a reason probably why the top teams pick quarterbacks. Let me tell y'all something. Again, and I said this yesterday. Name aside of Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, there aren't, and some people even say Josh Allen might be kind of a stretch. There aren't a lot of really good quarterbacks right now. There aren't. Look at your playoff quarterbacks last year in the NFC. Brock Purdy, again, solid, but not great. Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love, Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield. None of those are surprised. None of those are elite or even very good quarterbacks. They are good, but they're not very good. In the AFC, got a little bit more talent. You can't deny 2 MVPs for Lamar. You can't deny Patrick Mahomes winning the chips. Joe Burrow, when he's healthy, is a really good quarterback. Justin Herbert has good upside. CJ Stroud looks to be a definite future quarterback. Let's see what Anthony Richardson come back to. People forgot he was the hottest rookie quarterback before he got hurt last year. So at least the future looks good over there. There is no shock that the top half of the draft is looking for those guys, Ayo. I hear you, but the bottom, most of the folks in that bottom set have their quarterback. The top half doesn't. That's why they're in the top half. We've lost 5 straight years in what? I keep saying 5. Is it 6 now? Is it 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23? 6 straight years. There's a reason we're picking in the top 10 every year. So, Dex, he said, listen, if Micheal Penix end up being a Hall of Famer, ain't nobody going to have nothing to say. And Dex is some folks probably in Kansas City that can probably attest to that. When they chose Patrick Mahomes at number 9, was it 9? And folks are like, "What are they doing? They got Alex Smith." 6 years later, again, nobody talking about Alex Smith. Nobody. C Double says also, we talked about the success that Terry's had, which success is 21-30 as a GM. He's going to go if we don't have any seasons. Well, that's obvious, of course. He walks this preach on trying, man. And that, like I said, nobody said I'm telling the gospel truth, but I'm just saying some of the, I don't want to say obvious, but some of the things I'm just saying, gotta make sense. Blastomatic said Justin Fields' career isn't done. It's not. And Justin Fields just might turn it around. You never know. He could have a Geno Smith rebirth. We don't know. But we couldn't take a chance. For a team that's you get the surer thing. That's a word. The king in the house said, "Man, we got a quarterback that passed for at least 4,500 yards the past 2 seasons in college. I wish people would stop complaining because without Penix, if Cousins goes down, we're right back where we were in 23. Amen." Rex says, "Who the heck thought we didn't need a quarterback for the future when Cousins is 35 years old?" Obviously, a lot of people, Rex. I don't know what they saying. I don't get it. That to the King's standpoint, soon as Kirk Cousins does something, and knock on wood, we hope it doesn't happen. Soon as something happened and we go right back to Taylor Heineke, then the people say, "See, you should have chose Penix." Like clockwork, it'll happen. Like clockwork. Dom says succession plan is what I got out of the pick. I'm not mad at it. I understand it. We complained about quarterback play for years. Now they decide to get it right this time. Dom, I wish you would have been with me 3 years ago when everybody in their mother and grandmother and second cousin was mad because I was and at that time it was Justin Fields. And look, we don't know what would have happened under a different coaching regime, blah, blah, blah. Don't know. But any quarterback that last year Matt was here. But they're like, well, if you get Kyle Pitts, that'll improve the production. That'll get everything. And I'm looking now, and no disrespect to Kyle Pitts, but Kyle Pitts is like, well, dang, y'all got to get somebody to throw me the ball accurately. I remember last year they were talking about the little pass he threw. I think it was against Green Bay when he threw the ball down the field, and Kyle Pitts made this miraculous catch where he had to dive to the ground with nobody realizing that Kyle Pitts had to come back to the ball 5 yards because Desmond Ritter, with all his strength, underthrew him about 4 or 5 yards. But tell it to somebody else. It was Desmond was the greatest. Justin says Howie Rossum did something similar with Hurts after paying Wentz, but it was a second round pick, very much so. And there were a lot of people thinking, why are they picking this guy this high when you got Carson Wentz, who should be coming into his own? And we see where Carson Wentz is. Rex said we got some sensitive fans, man. You got to tell me. And in some ways, Rex, I want to be careful because I don't mind the emotion from fans. I get emotional too. I don't mind. But I'm like, dang. I mean, they didn't even get Junior out all the way on the podium. Micheal Penix Jr. Everybody start typing, "Oh, this is the worst pick in the world. The Falcons don't know what they're doing. Let me get a meme up here. Let me do this. Let me do that." Without thinking it through first. But again, you can have your own opinion, and guess what? You could absolutely be right. But I just want to see. I hope half the people that come out with the nonsense, they do leave the fan base. Good. Good. The fan base that I've been steadfast in for 40 plus years. That y'all don't know what it's like to have bad quarterback play for 10 plus years. Not 2 or 3. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just Mills, what's going on, Billy? Good to see you in the house. Thank you for joining us on Uncle C's Lounge. As y'all coming in, make sure y'all hit the right like button for me. Appreciate you. If you haven't subscribed, see a lot of new faces in here. Y'all make sure y'all hit that subscription button for me. We're gonna be like this all off season, and boy, oh boy, when we get to the regular season, we're gonna have some stuff for you. I appreciate y'all joining us in here today. Carlos said we got some more seasoning in that Atlanta sauce, though. Look at us turning into Wakanda. Oh man, Carlo. You know what? You're right. Oh boy. Millie says, man, tell Kurt stop crying and show up for training camp. You got your money. You're gonna be the starter. Stop bitching. He's right. He's right. The King said at the end of the day, Cousins is still a stopgap quarterback, albeit a very good one. And we need him. Listen, we're tired of trying to lose, y'all. We're tired of losing. I can't believe we're in a franchise right now where we have 2 quality quarterbacks and people are upset. And yes, I know salary cap ramifications. And yes, I know we need defensive players. I know. But I never thought we'd be in a day that I would be sitting here with a lot of the fans, not a lot of fans, but well, take that back. Actually, a lot of fans. A lot of fans complaining because we have talent at the quarterback positions times 2. Never thought. I'm not trying to tell you it's Joe Montana, Steve Young, but I am telling you it's better than Ritter and Heineke, and it's better than Mariota Ritter. Barbara, how you doing? She said, pick is way too high. This is not a win now pick. No pass rush in 15 plus years, but we get a quarterback. I know quarterback is the most important position, but you just guaranteed Cousins $100 million shaking my head. I know Penix wouldn't be there later, but other quarterbacks are coming out. Here's the thing, Barbara. At this particular point, uh, she said number 8 pick should have to play now. Well, see, that's the only thing I kind of disagree with. See, we kept how many of the teams that had first round draft picks over the top 10 quarterbacks over the past few years threw them out there and they haven't panned out? Yeah, we're going to see what CJ Stroud turns out to be. He might be a difference maker. Trevor Lawrence is the number 1 overall. You should be great. But you look at the Zach Wilsons, you look at the Trey Lances. I'm trying to go back further to a couple of Pickett was 17, so that's not true. That's why the approach was bad. The approach should be sit him down under somebody. Mahomes when he was number 9. Sit him down under somebody. You don't have to throw them out there to the woods. Or to the wolves, I should say. Throw them out there. Wait before you throw them out there. Let them see what the speed is of the game. MW, what's going on? How you doing, franchise? Good to see you. ATLGA Faithful, that's my buddy right there. What's going on, man? Y'all make sure y'all go check him out on his YouTube channel doing his thing. So we ain't got to worry about quarterback now. Let's start stacking the team. That's why I say all the great players are not in the round 1, y'all. And you can only pick one unless you're lucky enough, like Minnesota, to give away stuff to get more players. Daily Gifts Forever. What's going on? He said, wrong pick. The pick was Dallas Turner. Well, 16 teams disagree. But who knows? Let's see in a couple of years. There were people that knew Michael Parsons was going to drop down, and they let him drop down, and we see what he turned out to be. I say again, TJ Watt. A lot of folks passed up on him. Millie says we might already have got our pass rusher on the team, Troy Anderson or Caden Ellis, with Heen coaching these boys. I see the vision. I see Ebiketie making a good move as well, y'all. But everybody forgot what difference he made from the 22 to 23. Was I the only one that saw that? Was I the only one that saw Zach Harrison look like he was trying to raise his game up? Maybe it was just me. Chris says I'm truly lost. Oh, don't say that. Chris says, please don't talk to me about the future when we don't even have a pass. Yeah, it's kind of hard, Chris, but at the same time, look, they got Kirk Cousins for now. You do have to have a contingency plan original. You do. You have to have a contingency plan. Daily Gifts says if it was the right pick, the brass doesn't explain for 20 minutes. Then put a video out with the employees to support the garbage pick. He plays in 2 years, one hit on the knee, done. Man, that's anybody. That's anybody. We gotta stop projecting injuries on people. The man was injured in 2021, came out and had a great 2022, 2023. And we just want the injury to happen. As a matter of fact, it's people probably that just want the injury. You want the injury to happen almost for the same reason I made this stream, so you can be right. You want the injury to happen to the young man. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Charles says, sad premonition. Kurt blows out the other Achilles. Penix takes over, plays well. Game in Minnesota. Turner sacks Penix in the hospital. Boy, Charles, man, I need to, Charles, I need to get you a drink, brother. I need, but keep typing, Charles. Hey, love your stuff, man. Atlanta Dog said only 8 defensive players were drafted last night. The whole draft left. Yeah, and look, they took 7, 8 offensive tackles yesterday. For everybody that's talking about defense, defense, defense. Yes, we need defense, but there's no guarantee all them guys gonna be great. Because I know it's some people that's already writing down. They writing down every defensive player that went after Penix, which is really after 14. Y'all writing them down. Some people writing them down and can't wait for game 6 or 7. Turner has 3 sacks, Unc. See, you were wrong. I'm waiting for it. Daily Gifts Forever says Atlanta never builds the line. That's where Steve Bartkowski got hurt. Same will be with Kirk and Penix. Well, I mean, and you sound like your old school brother. If you remember, like I remember, yeah, Bartkowski took a beating those first couple of years, but this was also the line that had a young Mike Ken, a young Jeff Van Note. We had some guys on that offensive line that eventually blossomed to the 78, 79, 80 team that were pretty good. So it wasn't all doom and gloom for Steve Bartkowski. Not the whole time. But I hear you at the very 75, 76. Oh, he was running for his life when he wasn't getting sacked. Billy says, I say Trotter Jr. and move Troy to edge permanently. A lot of people saying that. Tin Cam says, would you like Jonah? Yeah, it would be nice to get Caden's brother on here. That would be something special. Let's see if they're thinking about that too. Daily Gift says the Atlanta Brass sabotaged their own team with stupidity. Okay, I hear you. Jaqual says, I was indifferent at first, but now I'm glad we're not one snap away from Heineke taking snaps again. Woo! Man, y'all are on fire today. I love it. Love it. Wallace says, Unc, I heard from Steve Weiss that follows the Falcons that they was trying to move back up into the teens to get Latu, and the Colts got him. I believe it. I believe it. And, there's no guarantee that y'all don't know. Maybe the Falcons didn't get the package they wanted for somebody to come up to number 8. Remember, they said they were open for business late yesterday. Yeah, I would have loved for them to get Latu. I like Latu better than Turner, to be honest with you. Obviously, the draft did as well. Kelvin says, wonder if Penix will take any reps with the ones. Probably not early. And let's hope he doesn't have to. T. Walker says clearly nobody wanted to trade down, and those pass rushes were we rated on the boards as high as us mere mortals, so we couldn't trade back. That's the other thing you got to think about. Maybe the trading back wasn't far enough. Listen, if somebody was willing to give a haul to come up to number 8 and gave the Falcons not only their first round in the mid teens, but maybe give a couple more second round picks, maybe the Falcons would have bit. But we all say trade back like it's as easy as pushing on a Madden game, and it's not. Barbara says Kirk may not give his all when he got 100 million guaranteed. I hope that Penix is our franchise quarterback with all those huge offensive players, O lineman players being taken. They must build those trenches, and you got to get some depth. There's still some offensive linemen in the draft. Michael said Cousins will be 37 when the season. No, he'll be 36. I think he's 35 right now. I don't think he's I don't even think he's 36. I think we're making him 36 because he's 36. He'll be 36 when the season starts. Kirk Cousins is currently 35. His birthday is August 19th. So that is inaccurate. T. Walker says we couldn't trade back because no one wanted. Oh, I think I just did that. Sorry about that. Jay, what's up, Jay? So I would never judge anything too harshly before I see how it works out. That's Jay. I wish everyone could have that same open mindedness. In some ways, sometimes I don't have that patience as well. If I'm truly being transparent, but I understand how people want to project. How I understand how people who've been dealing with a franchise that's been losing 6 years in a row. I can understand how people want to project doom and gloom. I don't agree with it, but I see how. Charles says next 4 years have $200 million contracted to quarterbacks. Was the Cousin contract ever honest? Well, first of all, next year uh, he's only on the hook for the other half of the 100 million guaranteed, and you're not paying Penix that much money. I think guaranteed, and remember, even the guarantee, you're going to be able to push some of that money down the line, Charles. It's not going to be 200 million guaranteed, not for the next 4 years. Not well, it's contracted, but not guaranteed. So you're actually accurate. Contract. You're right, but not guaranteed, Charles. Greg says 66 quarterbacks played last season because of injuries. 66. It's always better to have good backup quarterback on the roster than to need one. Amen. Michael says, like it or not, Atlanta stole the draft. You haven't heard more about any pick other than Penix to Atlanta. And listen, the one thing you hear when you're listening to the folks criticize the pick, nobody is criticizing Penix's talent. They go into injuries and they go into the Falcons, quote unquote, reaching. That's what you hear. Uh, Rambling on Zach Zone says, that doesn't mean it's a good thing. Everyone talking about us is talking crap. Well, that's when you have to not listen to them all the time. Not all the time. Jay says, everyone trashing us, fans, the media, and if it works out, it'll be funny for real. Jay, that's why I say it's people are more upset that they were wrong. They went to that little mock draft thing on the little channel and they did it 300 times and nobody had Michael Penix and now people are upset. That's what it is. Michael says not everyone. Stephen A. surprisingly defended the pick. Everyone is saying Penix is a great quarterback. Though I did see that little clip where he was more not only defending the pick, he was kind of talking about the people who were reporting about Cousins being upset. So I get that as well. But yeah, I did see Stephen A. kind of, which is scary to me because I'm usually on the other side of him. HM, the Trap Cash Show. What's going on? Says Kirk Cousins now knows how RG3 felt having another quarterback drafted behind him. Yeah, he's getting his turn up. He's getting his turn up. I'm gonna go through this, folks, because I got to get out of here. in a couple of seconds. And get a couple of people I have. Rambling On says the Falcons went 7-10 in 2023 with a way more improved offense, which it definitely will be. I don't see us not winning at least 2 more games to win the division. Our defense won't be that bad. I'm with you on that. Brother Travis is in the house. He said, "Hey, Uncle, nice talking with you guys last night. Brother, we appreciate you. Please tell your folks
I love Desmond.
and the first cousins to calm down. If Kirk is that dude, he will embrace the opportunity and teach the competition." That's what you normally do. Uh Antoine, what's going on, man? Say, I hope we can get a chance to pick in the defensive tackle from Texas Longhorn. You know, he might not be there. That he just got in trouble uh, with the Javontre, yeah, Sweat. That's who he's talking about. He just got in trouble with the ticket and stuff. So let's see how that's gonna play out. Bags says people been saying we should have waited until the 3rd or 4th round to get a quarterback. Did we not just do that with Ritter and fail tremendously? Uh, you go get your guy in the first when he's there for the taking. Uh, Drew says I got this weird feeling Penix is gonna play games this year. Uh, if we're so in love with this guy, the temptation to put him in when things go sour with Kirk would be too strong. Okay, maybe I hope not. Willie Sand says, as a lifelong Dallas Cowboy fans, I feel some of y'all pain. Thank you, Willie. We appreciate that. Uh, Drew said is Ritter versus Heineke again with better quarterback play. I I get your analogy, but please don't put those two guys in our number.
I love Desmond.
We're done with that. But your analogy is 100%. I get what you're saying. Dre, what's going on, man? Say, I'm liking the fact that the media hasn't been able to pinpoint the Falcons pick the last few years. This could benefit us in the future. And that's what you start talking about. The fact that people are mad that they're wrong, Dre. The media's mad, fans are mad, content creators are mad because they didn't choose what I said. The Falcons don't know what they're talking about. Terry is a horrible GM. He should be gone with Arthur Smith. That's what people are mad. Smart Ride, what's going on, man? I missed you yesterday, man. It's a great show. Penix has an NFL arm and the ability to read defenses. Terry Fontenot and Coach Morris are looking long term. Arthur Smith showed this organization with its light with a real quarterback plan. Amen. Rambling on with Zach Jones says, I think at pick 43, you target Chris Braswell from Bama. He'd be a little bit of a reach, but he was in Dallas Turner's shadow a lot. I think he's better than stats show. A lot of people were saying that he was a notch below Ramlin. I remember people talking about that. So I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe 3rd round, I would do more than uh, more than 4th round. And we got that 2nd, 3rd round pick. So that should be it. Folks, I got to get going. I apologize. This is a great chat. I will be back on Sunday for the Sunday brunch at around 6 o'clock. We'll talk about the full draft after everything is done. A lot of y'all are new. I appreciate y'all coming to the channel. Please hit the subscribe button for us. We appreciate y'all interaction. If you like what you see, please share out the video. Tell them about Uncle Steve. We appreciate you. Thank you so much again for joining us in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Everyone have a blessed week, and we'll see you on the Sunday Chill in Uncle Steve.